So next is ethics. So now we'll try to answer 5 questions from ethics of previous year questions, mains. Again, the idea is just to give a basic, like how I would approach the mains answer for ethics or the general studies, like what approach, how do I have a clear idea about how to approach it. So we'll look at 2 to 3 theory questions, 2 theory questions and 3 case study questions. So I'll just write some of the frameworks that I use for ethics, whatever question comes. So this is like the syllabus. So this is like determinants, role of family, role of culture, etc. This is the consequences, causes, consequences, attitude, aptitude, probity, emotional intelligence. This is just the syllabus, but it gives you dimensions to analyze any theory question in ethics. Like any question can be analyzed in terms of what are the causes, what are the consequences, what is the role of attitude, what is the role of affective component of attitude, emotional component of attitude, behavioral component of attitude. You can talk about aptitude and civil service values if the question pertains to civil service, probity, again the different parts of probity, work culture, corruption, grievance redressal mechanisms, etc. Then you can talk about emotional intelligence. You just take the Goldman model, it has 5 dimensions. You can analyze the question in terms of emotional intelligence. Then this is structure of any ethics theory question, meaning, supporting, refuting, relevance. Any theory question, what is the meaning of the statement of the question, give theory and other examples to support the argument, and then flip the argument. Like think about any alternative arguments, how can you counter it, what is the, how can you flip the argument, what if this is not true, why is it not always true, like think of it from alternative standpoints. Then end it with relevance, why is it still relevant. You can end it with a quote or relevance, you can start it with a quote or introduction or definition. This TED and VET is like every line, ideally every point should either have value or example or thinker or theory. Like any general point that we are saying, ideally it should have a value or an example or a thinker or theory, so that it's a very factually intense point. And every question should have thinker, theory, should have examples, should have a diagram. Again, it's not mandatory, but it gives a little more edge in terms of your answer writing, in terms of your mains paper. So now we'll just look at this question. The question says, it is often said that commerce and morality do not go together. Reflecting on Mahatma Gandhi's assertion that commerce without morality is a sin, what is your perspective on this view in the context of contemporary Indian business practices? Provide examples to support your argument. That's not needed, that's a given. So how do we start? So as I said, meaning. You start with the meaning, you support it, you refute it, you end with the relevance. Where do you get the points? You get the points from here, the syllabus. Every point should have thinker or example. Every question should have thinker, examples and diagram. Every point should have value or example or thinker, theory. Okay, so it is often said that commerce and morality do not go together, reflecting on Gandhi's assertion that commerce without morality is a sin. What is your perspective on the view of contemporary Indian business practices? Okay, so you can talk about things like CSR. You can talk about how it is mandatory, a percentage of the profit should be given. You can talk about how you can connect it with the idea of artha, with the idea of dharma, with the idea of let's say, like Kierkegaard talks about the greater societal impact, greater societal consequence is more important than personal profit. You can talk about it from a utilitarian perspective, like how commerce without morality does not even serve the utilitarian perspective. It does not help more people, it does not help the business itself because the trust will go down, so it does not help anyone in that perspective. Then you can analyze it from the deontological or Kantian perspective, how means and ends are both important, how every person is an end in itself. Commerce without morality will see individuals as just as means to get an end, to reach an end. So how that is not moral, how that is not ethical, how that does not help anybody in the end. And then you can talk about it, analyze it from like commerce without morality. You can talk about different issues in this thing, like commerce without morality can be something, you can take examples and then connect it to the point. Like you can talk about commerce without morality in terms of insider trading. You can talk about commerce without morality in terms of false advertising. You can talk about like poor environmental regulations or poor enforcement of environmental regulations, poor enforcement of labor codes, poor enforcement of labor conditions, how that affects rights of people, how that affects Article 14, Article 21 of people, how that again is unethical and illegal. You can again talk about it from another theoretical perspective, like it affects the rights, so it affects the rights, like from a rights approach viewpoint, it affects the morality. How from justice approach, so Rawls famously called justice as fairness. So if we have to achieve fairness, again we have to achieve morality or achieve a certain degree of ethics in the business environment as well. You can connect it with thinkers like Tirukkural talks about business ethics. Milton Friedman talks about utilitarianism. So Milton Friedman famously said something as primum non nocere. Basically the idea is just that you create maximum profits, but within the within the walls of laws and ethics. So the idea can be to create maximum profits, maximum money, but within the guardrails that are established by law and ethics. Then you have ideas like ideas that are created like the committees, the Uday Kota committee on corporate ethics. Like you have ideas like the independent directors, you have ideas like related party transactions, how that should be regulated and all of that. And even going back in theory, you can talk about Marx, how Marx spoke about commerce without morality can lead to alienation of the individual, alienation of labor, alienation of different vulnerable sections of the society. How you can talk about even Ayn Rand. Rand talks about ethical egoism, but even in ethical egoism, like the end goal can be to like profit, the individual can be, like the goal can be to benefit the individual and to raise benefits and even be capitalism, but still the means are important. It should not take away the idea of ethics, it should not take away the idea of societal relevance that Kierkegaard or Durkheim talks about. So things like that, you combine theory, you combine certain examples, you can combine 2G scam, coal scam, Colgate, all that, and then talk about support that this commerce and morality, commerce without morality is a sin. But you have spoken about morality, you have spoken about supporting it with thinkers, theory and examples. Now you have to give an alternative view as also. Like you can say how commerce need not always focus on morality. Like as I said, some of the points that I said about Milton Friedman, like the commerce need not look at morality, it just has to ensure that certain rules, regulations, laws are being followed. Like you can give an alternative viewpoint. It is not that you are supporting that view. The idea is that you are looking at it from an alternative standpoint. You can say how if commerce only focuses on morality, or how the morality itself is not absolute, it is relative. You can talk about the idea of cultural relativism, how something which is perceived as good in a certain culture is perceived as wrong in another culture. So the idea of commerce, especially in global capitalist markets, you can't focus more on morality as such if it is not absolute in certain areas. Some things are absolute, like killing a person is absolute and is absolutely wrong. Like cheating somebody when there are laws which clearly state no is a absolute no. But then certain things might be not so clear. So there certain things might be culturally relative. In such cases, commerce may not always think about morality. So these are like arguments you are trying to give. You are trying to play the devil's advocate from the other side. Just one or two points are sufficient just to give the idea that you've given a holistic analysis, and then you end it with relevance. Like in our times when scams like the crypto scam, the Colgate scam, 2G scam, or even issues where there's a lot of inequalities, there's a lot of poverty at the same time when there's a lot of wealth. So in that kind of a social scenario, commerce needs morality at its base, at its core, to ensure that commerce reaches everyone to ensure the core idea of wealth creation and distribution, something like that. You can talk about Gandhi, you can talk about even the old thinkers like Marx or Engels or anybody, and end it well. So the structure was meaning supporting it with thinker theory examples, relevance, refuting it, and ending it with relevance. So that was our first question on ethics. So the idea is like simple 10 marker, 10 points. What is the meaning? How do you support it? Use thinker theory, use constitution, use laws, use ethics, thinkers, theories, utilitarianism, rights approach, justice approach, Indian thinkers, Greek thinkers, Chinese thinkers, whichever come to your mind, just 5, but mix it into supporting and refuting. You have to give alternative viewpoints to make it a little more holistic. So that was our first question on ethics.
Hi, a very good evening to all of you. I hope prelims 2024 आप लोगों का सही से हुआ होगा. Now is the time when you should prepare for mains wholeheartedly. And to help you in assisting in this endeavor, we are coming up with a very important program known as Civil Services Accelerator Program. देखो मेंस में आपको हर कोई बोलेगा कि 450 नंबर GS 1 2 3 4 में आने चाहिए, ऐसे में 120 130 आने चाहिए, बट हाउ टू अचीव इट, वो करना कैसे है, कौन कौन से वो पिलर्स है जिन पे हम फोकस करने वाले हैं. तो पिलर्स देखो बहुत बेसिक है. फर्स्ट वी गोइंग टू इंश्योर दैट जो भी हम यहाँ करंट अफेयर की क्लासेस लेंगे दे गोइंग टू बी लिंक्ड विद द स्टैटिक पार्ट, सो दैट यू कैन गेट अ वेरी गुड अंडरस्टैंडिंग. चाहे यूपीएससी फिर बाद में स्टैटिक पोर्शन से पूछे या फिर करंट से, आपका अच्छे से कवर हो जाएगा. सेकंड इज अबाउट एथिक्स, कि आप एथिक्स अच्छे से कवर करिए, बोथ पोर्शन सेक्शन ए एज वेल एज द केस स्टडीज, एंड इफ यू डू इट प्रॉपर्ली यू विल गेट वेरी गुड मार्क्स. देन फिलोसॉफिकल एसेज, सबसे कम मार्क्स आजकल एसे में आने लग गए स्टूडेंट्स के, 80 90 100 तक मैक्सिमम लोग स्टॉप हो जाते हैं. तो हाउ टू इंश्योर दैट कि वो मार्क्स हमारे 130 तक पहुंचे, उसके लिए हम ऐसे फोकस करेंगे. एंड देन यू गोइंग टू हैव अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट टेस्ट सीरीज व्हिच इज गोइंग टू इंश्योर कि यार अच्छे से आप प्रैक्टिस कर पाओ और इवेलुएट कर पाओ अपने आप को. एंड दीज आर द इंपॉर्टेंट एरियाज व्हिच वी गोइंग टू फोकस अपॉन. इनफैक्ट दीज आर द पिलर्स ऑफ मेंस प्रिपरेशन फॉर करंट अफेयर्स. A team of faculties including me, we are going to assisting you in each and everything. We'll have Rajvardhan sir, we'll have Neha ma'am, me alongside some other faculties will also be part of this. We'll focus on 3 areas. Okay, जो टॉपिक बहुत स्टैटिक लगते हैं लेकिन वहां से करंट का क्वेश्चन हर बार आता है, जैसे लोकल सेल्फ गवर्नेंस, ऐसे क्वेश्चंस को हम पहले से ही संभाल के रखेंगे. सोसाइटी के बहुत सारे टॉपिक हैं ऐसे जहां से बार बार क्वेश्चन आता है, लगता नहीं है कि आएगा बट आ जाता है. ट्रेंड स्पेसिफिक क्वेश्चन, फाइनेंस कमीशन, क्लाइमेट चेंज, ऐसे ऐसे जितनी भी थीम है वो इसमें आएंगे. एंड थर्ड, ईयर स्पेसिफिक. ईयर स्पेसिफिक मींस दैट इस साल जैसे मान लो साइंस एंड टेक में कुछ अच्छे डेवलपमेंट्स हैं तो यूपीएससी वहीं से पूछ लेता डायरेक्ट क्वेश्चन. सो दोस काइंड्स ऑफ करंट अफेयर विल आल्सो बी कवर्ड. सो दैट्स व्हाई इफ यू वांट टू बिकम पार्ट ऑफ अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट कोर्स, दिस इज द कोर्स फॉर यू. कि सारी आपकी करंट अफेयर की चिंता फिनिश. With respect to ethics, we have one of the most stalwart person, Atul sir. Atul sir has been teaching for more than 13 years ethics. है ना, जब से शुरू हुआ है 2013 से पेपर, तब से सर पढ़ा रहे हैं. And if you want to get his mentorship, then eventually जितने भी प्रॉब्लम्स आते हैं एथिक्स में वो सारी सॉल्व आउट हो जाएंगे, चाहे वो आपकी बेसिक कंसेप्ट हैं, कंटेम्परेरी एग्जांपल्स हैं. इफ यू नॉट एबल टू इंक्लूड द थिंकर्स इन द आंसर, वो भी सॉल्व हो जाएगा. along with the answer writing is going to become very very refined. In fact, he has already taken an orientation session. You can just watch it on our YouTube channel and you will get very good outcome for that. एथिक्स में जो होंगे लगभग 20 घंटे के आसपास क्लासेस होंगी, आपको PYQs वगैरह के लिए हेल्प की जाएगा, हैंडआउट्स दिए जाएंगे, अच्छे एग्जांपल जाएंगे, एंड प्लस मोर इंपॉर्टेंटली 1-to-1 मेंटरशिप इज गोइंग टू बिकम अ पार्ट ऑफ इट. सो एथिक्स इज वन एरिया वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. देन कम्स द एसे. In the essay, we are going to focus upon philosophical areas. तो पहले वहां पे आपको टीच भी करेंगे, me along with Manikant sir as well as Kapil Sikka sir. We are going to be part of this so that those of you who can eventually get the best out of yourself, आपको कोई भी रुकावट नहीं आनी चाहिए. So focus किस चीज पे रहेगा? Coverage of all the important themes which are there in the PYQs. और सबसे ज्यादा फोकस फिलोसफी पे ही करेंगे. Then handouts दिए जाएंगे, आपको एक्सपर्ट फैकल्टीज के साथ 1-to-1 मेंटरशिप भी कराई जाएगी. And as a result of this, you can score very high in the essay. लगभग 25 से 30 घंटे की क्लासेस होंगी, कॉम्प्रिहेंसिव हैंडआउट, कंपाइलेशन, वर्कशीट, 1-to-1 मेंटरशिप, सारी चीजें आपको अच्छे से दी जाएंगी. एंड इफ यू आर एबल टू अचीव इट, मेक श्योर दैट कि आप तरीके से उसको यूटिलाइज करें एंड फाइनली आउटकम लेके आए मेंस के अंदर. एंड फाइनली व्हेन इट कम्स टू टेस्ट सीरीज, ऑल द फैकल्टीज आर गोइंग टू बी टुगेदर टू इंश्योर दैट जो भी आपका एरिया होगा उसमें आपको अच्छे लेवल का हम आउटपुट दे पाए, आपको अच्छी मेंटरशिप प्रोवाइड कर पाए, चाहे वो GS 1, 2, 3, 4 या फिर ऐसे पेपर हो. So that's why you're going to have a test series also along with this. And in this test series, we're going to make sure questions quality, model answers, the discussion sessions, all of them they are top notch, so that इस साल जो मेंस है आपके लिए एक eventually game changer बन जाए and we are able to become a part of your success journey. This is the objective with which we are starting this program, and this program is going to be very, very useful for all those students who are eventually becoming part of the mains for this year. अभी prelims का result आने वाला है, so let us hope majority of you have worked very hard. आपका final call आ ही जाए. Many sessions are going to happen. Some have happened, like ethics का session has already been taken by Atul sir, and June 25 it was taken. Essay का जो है 2 जुलाई को होगा. Answer writing template का जो session है, it will be taken by the rank 4 of this year. It's going to focus specifically on paper 2, paper 3. Current affair की classes 28 जून को first होगी. It will be dealing with IR. इसकी जो second class होगी वो next week on the July of 4th होगा. So what is required from your side? आप इन sessions का part बनिए. These sessions are open in nature. Try to get your doubts resolved. And once you feel like नहीं trust आ रहा है, confidence आ रहा है इस institute पे, then become a part of the program. And once you become part of this program, we'll take care everything from your side. Okay. So all the very best. If you have any query, any doubt, you can reach out to these numbers. These numbers, if you dial, you'll get the link to our counselors, and they will help you out in understanding. If कोई detail में आपको लगता है कोई issues लग रहा है कि भाई ये मुझे समझ में नहीं आ रहा है, they will help you out with respect to that also. And for all the important kind of videos, you can stick to our YouTube channel, and we're going to help you out in the whole UPSC civil services preparation. All right, all the very best. Thank you so much.